Hey guys, welcome to day 9. We are going to understand delete in SQL, delete and drop commands in SQL. By now, what all things we have learned is we have learned how to insert the data into Lakehouse using something called insert. In insert, we learn different variations like inserting single row, inserting multiple rows, inserting by giving sequence of columns, and then inserting without giving the sequence of column. And then we also explored select because select is an extremely essential operation whenever anyone is doing some analytics. His uh, capability to modify the select statement and get the right insight from the data is something that determines your RCA capability. So we understood what is select, and then we also understood the update. But what happens when data is no longer needed? Maybe an employee has left the company and maybe the department was mistakenly added, or maybe in rare cases you just don't want to remove the rows but you want to remove the entire table itself, entire table data itself. You want to remove the data but you still want the schema. So there can be different scenarios. This is where we need to understand the difference between delete and drop. First we'll understand what is delete and what is drop, and then we'll try to understand what is the difference. Okay, so let us start. So let's do run the compute first. Let's simply run the serverless compute. We'll just do a select from employees table where employee ID is equal to 103. Let's see if we are able to see the data. Then we'll run delete from table where employee ID is equal to 103. No, we already don't have any such employee record. So let us simply try to take any record which is there. So for that, yeah, let's take any one record which is there. Like let's take 104 where employee ID is equal to 104. Select star from table where employee ID is 104. This will only give the record 104, so we know for sure that this record is present. Now let us simply go and delete this record. What delete command would work like is delete from table where employee ID is equal to 104. So it is always delete from table, and you give a where condition. So if you don't give where condition, that's a disastrous effect. It is going to completely empty the table. Okay, if you simply run this portion, right, like delete from the table employees, and it is going to completely remove the data from the table. So we give a filter 104. Now let us check if that 104 is removed or not. Okay, just wait. Let me try to check this, the correct one. Okay, I don't think I ran it. Just let me run it. Number of rows affected would be 1. Yes, so one row is deleted. Let's rerun this. Row is deleted. Now there is no record for 104 employee. If you want to remove all the employees in the department, that is possible. So there we give a choice of there we give a filter choice of where department ID is equal to 4. That also we can do. If you just wanted to check this, what we can simply do is select star from C-level namespace. So here, the moment I run select star from, what came along is a Databricks assistant. It also nowadays what happened is Databricks assistant has a new release in which it also tries to understand uh, how the person who is working on the workspace is using the table. So you also understand the behavior. So you can see in department there are 4 employees. There are 2 employees in department 4. So if you delete everything, there should be answer that 2 rows are affected. Yes, 2 rows are affected because 2 rows are deleted. So now what we simply do is we go and again check whether the rows are actually deleted or not. And you would see that the rows are now deleted. On the similar lines, what we can do is delete all the employees. Yes, so if we don't give any where condition, all the employee data would be completely wiped out. So let us just simply run that. And after that, if you see, okay, number of rows affected are 15. And if we now simply go and do a select star from table, there should not be any rows in the table. Okay, no rows in the table. Now what we do is the table is now empty, but table has a schema. So there are many times a situation where we may want to preserve the schema, but we don't want the data because we may want to refresh it or something like that. Some or the other scenario will always come. But then there are situations while delete remove the rows, we want to go one step further and even want to drop the table. Maybe we may want to just recreate the table with a new schema or something like that. So for that, the command is drop table. So drop table will remove the schema completely. So this is the basic question sometimes is asked in the interviews, like what is the difference between delete and drop? So delete would only delete the data, whereas drop would delete the data and drop the schema as well. So now the table will not exist. So if you simply do, let's do select star from the table, it would say that table does not exist. Yes, table or view is not found. So this is how it works. Delete is like removing people from an office but keeping the building. Truncate is like clearing the office for everyone at once and leaving it empty but standing. And drop is like demolishing the building itself. We just drop everything. This is how it works. Each command has its place. As a data engineer, your responsibility is to choose the right tool for the right job and always double check before running them on the real system. One of the suggestion which I always give to my team and everyone is like whenever you are doing the delete, in the end you should put a where condition unless you are sure that you just want to